Daniel Sports Central, we go over a college football game preview and prediction on the Week 7 matchup between the USC Trojans and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. A crucial matchup for both teams coming up here in Week 7. You got USC. This is a team that is 6-0 on this season. But this team has been doubted a little bit the past couple of weeks with the close matchups. This team has played against unexpected opponents, but they've got a chance to quiet everyone down in this matchup as they take on Notre Dame on the road. The Fighting Irish have had a tough stretch of games the past 3 weeks or so, but this team is still 5-2, and they can still be a contender this season, but this is a must-win for them moving forward. So with that, we'll be covering a full game preview and prediction on this matchup here today. Let's get started with their team trends. USC beat Arizona last week 43-41, but it wasn't a pretty game. They won it in triple overtime, and Arizona, a halfway decent team in the Pac-12, but they're no standout. So for that game to be as close as it was, I mean, there's definitely doubters out there about this USC team right now. And you consider as well the past three games for this team. The close game to Arizona State, arguably the worst team in the Pac-12 this season, allowing 41 to Colorado in the end. I mean, this is still a 6-0 football team that is ranked in the top 10 for a reason, I really do feel. You got Caleb Williams and just an incredible offense in USC. It's just the defense. Can this team get it figured out defensively? And that's something that has yet to be answered. But for Notre Dame on the other side, lost to Louisville last week 20-33. A really brutal matchup for Notre Dame. Louisville's a talented football team that, which, I mean, you consider the 3-game stretch, and this is the fourth of a really brutal 4-game stretch for Notre Dame it's turned out to be. Obviously, the Ohio State matchup in late September, then having to go on the road and take on a red-hot Duke team the very next week, then Louisville on the road. So it's been tough for Notre Dame the past few weeks. So this is a huge opportunity to get things back on the right track and trying to save something out of this 2023 season. Your games will be on Saturday, October 14th in Notre Dame. So Irish are the home team for this matchup, which definitely is significant. Kickoff is 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Spread's going with Notre Dame by 2.5. So the Irish are barely favored in this matchup, and the over-under is 62.5. FPI is also going on the Irish side, 61%. Series history, Notre Dame leads at 48-37. We saw USC win the last matchup, but otherwise Notre Dame's been overall dominant in this series. They've also won 7 of the past 10. Your stat comparison, USC is the top team in the country in points per game, but they are 64th in points allowed. That is something that was kind of an issue last season as well. I mean, you consider the offense, how talented it was last season as well. This team was, you could have argued, the best team in the country offensively last year, but the defense just really came back to bite this team multiple times. But this season, I mean, so far that's kind of been a similar story, especially the past 3 weeks or so. So, I mean, for USC, that's obviously something that needs to be fixed if this team wants to be a big national contender. They're 102nd in the country in pass defense and 78th in rush defense. And, I mean, it's going to be tough to win any national titles playing the way that USC has defensively this season. But the passing game has been no problem. Caleb Williams and this team is 2nd in the country in pass yards a game, and they're 45th in rush yards a game. But as for Notre Dame, 46th in points per game, 18th in points allowed. So defensively, that's really where this team has been strong this season. I mean, obviously allowed 17 points to a really talented Ohio State team. Kept it within, or allowed 14 against a talented Duke team as well. Obviously, kind of a different story against Louisville, allowing 33 there, and that's kind of where things fell through. But otherwise, this has been a consistent football team, especially on defense. But the offense hasn't been quite as good as some might have expected so far this season for the Irish. So that is something that this team needs to work out. But obviously a very strong pass defense. We have seen that as well, 2nd in the country in pass defense, and taking on a USC team that is 2nd in the country in the passing game. That's obviously going to be critical. Your recent matchups, USC beat Arizona 43-41, went into triple overtime, but at least for the Trojans, got it done. That would have been a really brutal loss to this team's national contention hopes if they would have taken a loss there. But still beat them and beat Colorado 48-41, beat Arizona State 42-28. And we've seen how this team can be dominant, beat Stanford 56-10, and obviously the win against Nevada 66-14. But for Notre Dame on the other side, the win against NC State back in early September, 45-24, beat Central Michigan 41-17. Obviously the walk-off loss to Ohio State there in late September was rough, 17-14 being the final. I mean, this team was so close to beating Ohio State And I mean, honestly, you consider if they could have won that matchup, I feel like the momentum would have really shifted this team's way, and maybe they wouldn't have lost to Louisville this past weekend. But I mean, you can't say that for sure. Louisville is a team that is quickly emerging as a big contender in the ACC. So they're a talented football team this season, that's for sure. Your key points: USC 6-0 on the season. Caleb Williams. This team is stacked offensively. They're built to win on the offense, and it was the same way last season as well. It's just the defense trying to get it figured out. And I mean, I feel like this team is much more talented defensively this season versus last year. It just hasn't clicked quite yet. I mean, but USC is still a team to really keep an eye on. I feel like they're very much built to be a big national contender this season. And I mean, I've said this a couple of times before, but the Pac-12 this season, I mean, you might have a Pac-12 team in the college football playoff once in a while, but they usually aren't considered a major threat for the title. But this season, I feel like it's a different story. You got so many talented teams in the conference. If USC can get into the top 4, or even like a Oregon or a Washington, really, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if they won the national title this season. That's how talented some of these teams are in the Pac-12. But the defense has been a bit inconsistent to this point. The defense has to be better if the Trojans want to be a national contender. But this is a team with experience and huge potential as well. They're still undefeated at 6-0 despite sliding down the rankings a bit the past few weeks. But for Notre Dame on the other side, this is a talented team going through a tough stretch here. I mean, all things considered for Notre Dame now, going from a big national contender just a few weeks ago to suddenly a fringe team for the New Year's Six. I mean, this is a huge matchup for them to stay in contention for even a New Year's Six bowl game. I feel like college football playoff contention is pretty much out the door for Notre Dame at this point. It's just those 2 losses really just brutal for this team. But they can still be a big threat for the New Year's Six, and so I feel like for Notre Dame, that's still very much in the question, but got to win this matchup if they want to be in contention for that. But they're still an experienced, they're a dangerous team, and I feel like even though Sam Hartman, a couple of brutal mistakes last week against Louisville, but he's still a very talented quarterback, a very dangerous quarterback that can play at a very high level. And so, I mean, you can't underestimate him. I feel like he's a player that might start to get overlooked here, but he's still an incredible player that should definitely be considered. But with that, let's get to the prediction here for USC and Notre Dame coming up here in week 7 of action. Definitely a lot on the line for both teams here. And with that, I'm going to be going with the road team here. 41-38. I'm going with USC to win this matchup, but this one could totally go either way. I feel like USC is a team that has shown defensively to be a bit vulnerable the past few weeks, but I feel like the offense prevails and USC finds a way to win this game. But I mean, it's more the fact too for Notre Dame. Notre Dame is now 5-2 on the season. They've taken 2 losses. The past 3 weeks have been really rough for this Notre Dame team, and so for them to have to come back home after that, after multiple weeks of tough games and having to get ready for maybe their toughest opponent yet in USC, I mean, it's just going to be tough for Notre Dame. And I feel like they're going to put up a really good fight in this matchup, and it's going to be close, but USC is just going to find a way in the end. And at this point, I feel like USC has really got more to play for at this point, especially in such a competitive conference in the Pac-12, and obviously national contention as well, trying to stay in what is such a competitive season of college football. But for USC, I'm going to take them 55%, over under 62.5. I'm taking the over. I wouldn't be surprised if this turned into a borderline shootout as well. You got 2 really strong offenses, and defensively, Notre Dame is really that's really where Notre Dame shines. But I feel like USC's offense, the way they're built, they're going to find a way to score 41 and find a way to win this game. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this matchup, your thoughts and your score predictions, all that. Let me know in the comments, and I appreciate you guys all watching as always. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. Catch you on the next one.